The battlefield on the planet Viridian. 3 was silent now, too silent. Hours earlier, the sky burned orange with artillery fire, screaming engines, and the crack of plasma rifles. Now only smoke billowed across the charred soil, and broken metal armor littered the ruins like a graveyard of ambition. Corporal Elias Ward, Earth Federation Marine, limped through the destruction with his rifle slung low and his chest plate cracked in 3 places. His unit had fallen back during the final push. He was supposed to regroup with the extraction convoy, but he couldn't shake the nagging instincts drilled into every soldier. Never leave someone behind, friend or enemy. He scanned collapsed bunkers and scorched trenches. Bodies, human and alien, lay scattered, many burned beyond identification. He swallowed hard and tightened his grip on his rifle. Then he heard it. Not a voice, more like a weak, rasping vibration against the wind. Elias spun, weapon raised. The sound repeated. Not mechanical. Not electronic. Alive. He followed it behind a shattered hover tank, stepping over scorched debris. A curled figure lay there, silver skin, dark luminescent markings along slender arms, long braided tendrils instead of hair, and violet blood leaking from a deep wound. A warrior of the Zirathai Dominion, humanity's greatest enemy. Elias froze. Every military protocol screamed at him, secure, neutralize, ignore, report. But the creature, the woman, looked up at him with eyes like fractured mirrors, dull with pain. Her voice trembled in broken English, heavy with an alien accent. They left me. Elias knew she meant her own people. The Zirathai never retrieved wounded. The weak were discarded. They slowed the swarm. She was the enemy. A high-ranking one from her armor. Maybe an elite, maybe royalty. Killing her could shorten the war. But her breathing was shallow. She was dying. Something deep inside Elias, older than orders, older than war, stirred. He knelt beside her. "Hey, stay with me," he murmured. "I'm not gonna hurt you." Her eyes widened. Shock rippled across her face. Humans do not spare Zirathai. "Well," he said, looking around for medfoam cartridges, "I'm not most humans." He tore open his last emergency medical injector and sealed her wound. She gasped, back arching, violet blood evaporating into shimmering dust as the sealant activated. She grabbed his wrist, weak but trembling. "Why?" Elias didn't look at her. "Because you're alive. And that matters." Middle. For hours, he dragged her through forests of twisted metal and charred machinery. Her weight was light, but her body trembled with pain. Whenever he stopped to rest, she studied him with unreadable intensity. Finally, they found a collapsed communications tower. Elias set up a camp inside the broken framework, enough cover to hide from drones. He built a small fire. The alien flinched away from the flames. He raised an eyebrow. "You're afraid of fire?" "Not afraid. Fire weakens us. Our biology is unstable in heat." He immediately kicked dirt over the flames. The temperature dropped, and she exhaled in relief. He handed her water. She held the bottle awkwardly. "We drink through osmosis," she muttered. He looked confused, so she touched her wrist device and held the bottle against a small membrane on her neck. The liquid dissolved instantly into her skin. He chuckled softly. "That's new." She surprised him with a faint smile. Her voice softened. "My name is Sorayich Baron." Elias removed his dented helmet. Elias. They sat in silence, listening to distant gunfire and falling machinery across the once lush planet. Sorayich spoke first. "We did not want this war." Elias frowned. "You invaded Earth-controlled space." "We were starving. Our worlds are dying. Our rulers, they hide it from the galaxy. They tell our soldiers Earth wants to destroy us. We fight out of fear. You fight out of survival. But neither wishes annihilation. Her voice cracked. Our weak are abandoned. Only the strong return. That explained everything. The way her troops left her. The way she called humans merciless because her own people were worse. She curled up, trembling, not from pain, but from something deeper. They will hunt me for failing, she whispered. Even if I live, I am already dead. Elias leaned against the cold metal and looked at her. Not as an alien, not as an enemy, but as someone who had lost everything. Maybe, he said, you don't have to go back. Her breath caught. A spark lit in her eyes. Something like hope. Something she probably hadn't felt in years. But your commanders would kill me. Not if I speak for you. He didn't know if that was true. But he meant it. Something shifted between them then. Trust born not from alliance, but from shared exhaustion and the raw instinct to survive. The peace didn't last. A swarm drone buzzed overhead, scanning the wreckage. Elias and Saright dove behind fallen steel just before a crimson laser swept the ground. Elias peeked out. If it reports we're here, we're dead. Saright's hand glowed faint blue as she pressed her palm to her device. I can disable it, but I must get closer. Elias nodded. I'll draw its fire. She grabbed his arm. You would risk yourself for me? He smirked. Don't make me rethink it. He sprinted out, firing at the drone. The machine swiveled, locking onto him. A plasma bolt ripped past his shoulder. Saright threw herself into the open, her device sending a crackling burst of energy. The drone hissed, spiraled, and exploded. The blast sent her flying. Elias caught her before she hit the ground. You okay? Her voice was weak. You shielded me. Reflex, he muttered. No, she whispered, looking directly into his eyes. Compassion. Ending. They reached the emergency extraction point at dawn. A battered Federation dropship descended, kicking up waves of dust. Captain Stroud jumped out, weapon raised. Ward, thank God. Command thought you were gone. Then she saw Saright. What the hell is that? Step away. Now. Elias held up his hands. She's injured. She needs asylum. She's an enemy combatant. She's a survivor. And she saved me. Stroud hesitated, torn between orders and humanity. Meanwhile, Saright stood still, shoulders lifted in dignity, not begging, not resisting. She expected death. Elias stepped in front of her. If you want her dead, you go through me. Silence hung heavy. Finally, Stroud lowered her gun. Get her on board. But command won't like this. The dropship took off, engines roaring. Saright watched Elias sit beside her, battered and breathing hard. You risked everything, she whispered. I know. Why? Elias looked at her, really looked. Because enemies are just people we haven't understood yet. Her eyes shimmered, not threatening, not predatory, but grateful. You have changed my fate, Elias Ward, she said softly. And I swear, I will change yours. As the dropship rose toward the human fleet, two lives, once divided by war, were now bound by an act of compassion powerful enough to reshape everything. A war had begun with fear, but maybe peace would begin with kindness.